What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So today I have for you a very pretty looking track, to be honest. The track is called OASIS MX and it's made by, now I'm gonna give this a shot because there's three ways I'm guessing I can pronounce this. It's either AMAX, AMAX or AMAX, and out of the three I think AMAX sounds the best. And it's the first track that I've played of him and the only track that I've seen him post on MXB mods. However, looking at the comments on this track, I do believe he has others, so maybe it's just been the forums before now and I've not known. But that being said, I've already spent like a good 20 minutes or so playing this track yesterday, just in some downtime in the afternoon when I wasn't recording, and it's a very fun track. Straight off the bat, I mean, it looks really nice. It's quite like pleasing on the eyes, which is nice. I do like my brighter kind of decals rather than the dark decals, as you guys know. Really like the plants and stuff that we got going around, and you probably already saw, because I know I'm probably going to make it the thumbnail, but there is there's like a little monkey he's got up on one of the roofs, which I thought was quite cute, quite a little nice addition. And the track itself is essentially a fantasy supercross track, so not based off of any real track at all, straight from his brain, and it's something that we don't get too often in this game. When people kind of go for out there custom tracks with like a theme behind them and such, or just custom tracks in general that are a bit more like fantasy like, they always tend to go down the motocross route. It's very rare that you get this on supercross, which is quite cool. And as a whole, the track itself flows and rides really well, even with the beta 17 traction. I'm not sure if it's something that he had to change before or after or what, but I'm on the 450 right now and it's more than enough for a lot of sections. You could probably ride this track on a 125, to be honest, and get around it completely fine. But whilst I'm still in the midst of the supercross season, whilst I'm still trying to keep somewhat of a flow on the 450 and all that good stuff, I'm just going to stay on the bike as much as I can, because knowing me, I'll start riding something else and have fun and ride it a bit too much and lose my flow on the 450. And especially right now with the update and the new traction, I really need to be kind of getting that new muscle memory down with how aggressive I can be on the throttle and things like that. And luckily, this track, whilst it may look like sand, it's not actually using the sand traction, so it's still a fairly fast one. I imagine if it did have the sand traction, it will be a whole different story. I'd probably barely be able to get over that triple that I've just overjumped there. Get over it. Oh my god. Okay, that is that is solid. That sounded like metal, but it looks like it does look like rope. Yeah, okay, never mind. But whilst you're on the topic of AMAX, 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 Max, I think his name's Hornet Max, is the creator of the Max HUD plugin. He's updated it for us, so very happy about that. So thank you very much, Max. And I doubt you even watches my videos at all, to be honest. He's not active in Discord or anything like that. He just seems to kind of lurk on the forums. And obviously the Max HUD plugin can be used on all of the Perboso games, so it can be used on World Rally Series, can be used on was it Kart Pro, the other one, or something along those lines, and then obviously GP bikes as well. And you don't really know how much you appreciate something or how much you need something until it's gone. And I love being able to see my time. I love having all this information right at my fingertips, and riding about without it for the last few days, it's just felt like I've been naked in some sort of way. The track map is a massive thing for me. Whenever I'm playing a new track, I always use it to see what's coming up. Like if there's a blind jump, for example, I look over to see what's coming up over it, so I don't just launch it and you suddenly find there's a single, or it's a single and there's a corner right after it. Something else that I usually use it for is if I'm racing, let's say I go over a berm. Oh, I'm not surviving this. Oh, it's 2 laps in a row. God damn it, I need to learn from my mistakes. Let's say I go over a supercross berm and I can't see what's on the other side of it. I can't see who's coming and I need to rejoin the track. I'll just have a quick glimpse up at the map, see if there's anyone coming. If there is, I'll wait for a second and let them pass. If there's not, then I'll go. And it's just really good for general awareness. I mean, I look around quite a lot when I'm racing anyway. You guys can probably see that from the live streams, just because I like having that awareness. I like it. Say I'm jumping into a corner here and there's someone right behind me. I'll look behind to make sure he's not going to suddenly like dive up the inside and hit me with a full Vince Freezy. Because at the end of the day, the more aware you can be, the safer you'll be at the end of the day. If I can stop myself getting taken out and losing 5 seconds from a crash, then I'm more than happy to do so. You haven't got to fight for absolutely every position, especially if there's someone on your arse that you might think might be a little bit faster than you, but maybe make small mistakes. Sometimes it's better just to let them pass and then go back past them once they've crashed. Obviously, sometimes that can go the other way and go wrong, and when they crash, their bike takes you out with them. But for the most part, it's smart riding will reward you, and it's something that I was really happy with my win that I got around 4. That I just felt like I rode smart. I mean, I had the first 2-3 laps were not ideal by any means. I got caught up in chaos, and some of them I just really couldn't avoid. There might have been one crash or so that I could have maybe got out of the way from, but it's always a guessing game. You know, when there's bikes flying everywhere and you're riding around people, you've got like a 33% chance of surviving most of the time. Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you stay down the middle? And I feel like I am a bit of a bike magnet most of the times. I feel like no matter which direction I go, the bike will always gravitate towards me, and sometimes it's pure luck, sometimes you manage to calculate things, but the smarter you can ride, the more aware you are in general, the better racing experience you'll have as a whole. And you can see I'm still not fully up to date with the with the traction and how aggressive I can be. I do think that the 450s got hit a little bit harder than the 250s, if I'm honest. I rode a 250 the other day when I was using the TM, actually, when I'd done a video, and it still had a good amount of grip on the 250, so Supercross for them should still be okay. Supercross for us, I'm pretty sure Stone Rider is actually making the tracks have more grip anyway, so I don't think it will actually affect us much at all when it comes to the actual track. And I've seen him post like a 30-second clip of Glendale so far, and it looks really, really good. He says that it rides very, very close to real life, so I'm very excited for that, just to see how the new beta adds to the realism. What I'm a bit unsure about, which obviously I won't know until the day, is obviously everyone's getting these issues at the moment with being able to join online servers. Like you can just sync forever, like indefinitely, or your game can crash and such. And I hope that I don't get any sorts of dramas, especially whilst I'm going to be trying to live stream as well. And I know how frustrating it probably is sitting there whilst I'm kind of sitting in lobbies and such and not actually racing, but some things I can change, some things I can't, and I can only do my best. I can't help if my game crashes or I'm sinking for a while. Of course, as well, the bad side is if it takes you a couple of attempts to join the server, you're going to have a really bad gate selection, and we all know how important the gate selection is in the game. I mean, I think all of my 250 wins, I believe, last year in Supercross, I'm pretty sure they came off of the back of whole shots. I'm pretty sure I whole shot and led every race that I won. I don't think I ever came from the back and passed a bunch of people, and I think that's just Supercross in general. It's very, very hard to come past people. The biggest thing as well is that it's very hard to separate yourself, where a lot of people end up taking the same lines, and you get the odd like massive quad here or there, but they're really only qualifying lines. No one ever tends to take them in the racing unless they're super desperate to get by someone. And because of that, the only place you really make time up is in corners, but obviously in Supercross it's very hard to fit 2 people in the same corner, so you either have to be a bit aggressive and force yourself in there, or kind of do what I do and just wait for people to make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes never come. People are getting better and better at the game as time goes on. There's more people coming to the game, people with more skill than maybe some of the older people, and people just, I don't know, with the community growing as a whole, obviously there's more and more chance for people that have the potential to be better showing up, and there's definitely some new people that I've noticed going really fast. Hurls is one person. He came second just behind me in that race that I won, and he was like pushing me for the entirety of the second half of the race. He rode so well. I'm surprised that I held it together. I'm surprised that I didn't crash, and if I did, he would have been right there and took it off me. I think the lead at the end was only like a second and a half, so very, very close stuff. But it makes the racing good as well, and it gives you a reason to try and be consistent rather than just trying to send heaters all the time. When I first started playing this game, I think a national series was the first one that I done. I'm pretty sure it was PDMX. Now, the first half of the race, I always seemed to do really, really well. Like, I was up there, my speed was good, and then as soon as the second half of the race came around, and the track got a little bit rough, I'd never practiced like really rough tracks before, whereas most of the other people, they'd already done like large-scale races, they knew what to expect and so on, and I would just fall apart in the second half of the races, even if every time I was in the lead, I'd choke and end up like 30 seconds off the lead by the end of the race, and it was really frustrating. But I think as well it's because it didn't change, I didn't change, sorry, how I was riding throughout the race. I just treated every lap like it was lap 1 and the track was completely flat, and you can't ride like that in this game. You know, it will punish you if you try going as fast in like deep and rougher road as you do try going on a flat track. And I think every race you learn something. You learn how to deal with tracks a bit better, and hopefully next time, well, when the next national season comes around, if there is one, I hope there is, we might have new tracks by then. I know TFC is meant to be working on his nationals. I'm not sure how far along he is with them. I know he works on all of them kind of like a bit of time. He doesn't dedicate time to just one track or the other. I'm not sure if we'll have them by Nationals time. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a pay to have the track sort of system. I know that everyone at the moment's kind of fighting for the creators of the tracks and mods and stuff to kind of get something out of it, whereas obviously most of them do it just for free out of like them purely enjoying it. And I think it's probably people like me that have kind of caused this almost revolution where I kind of just sit here for half hour to an hour, sit here and talk to you guys and just play a track that they've probably spent weeks on making, and I spend 30 minutes to an hour and I end up getting like monetary compensation out of it, and they don't, which is, I mean, of course it's unfair. I know I myself have donated to a couple of people since I've been doing this, and I'm sure there'll be more to come as well. And yeah, I just try and be thankful really for what people give us. I mean, this channel wouldn't be here at all if it wasn't for the community for this game. So that's why I try and keep on everyone's good side as well. Is I don't want to piss anybody off. I mean, when we had a while back with when Fat Muppets Redbud got released, and he was asking if people could kind of like respectfully not monetize like content if they were shown off the track and such, and I wasn't going to monetize it full stop, and I went and messaged him saying, can I actually just make a video on the track in general? And it's just like a respect thing. You've kind of got to give respect in order to receive it back, which is what I try and do all the time. I try and avoid most controversy. I say most. I don't avoid it all. I know I throw my little digs here and there towards certain people, but for the most part, it's all good fun. Obviously, I get my fair share of like shitty or hate comments, like everyone does on the internet, and it's one of them things. If you let it get to you, and if you don't treat it as like a joke or take it on the chin and take it in your stride, then what's really the point of doing it? You're gonna get upset over everything. You're not going to really want to carry on doing what you're doing, and I always treat it as a good laugh. It's quite funny reading it every now and then. Funnily enough, my girlfriend gets more annoyed at the comments than I do. When I go and visit her, I'll be laying in bed kind of scrolling through comments, seeing what people have posted on like that day's videos, and if someone's just being like a flat-out arsehole, she absolutely hates it. She gets more annoyed than I do, and I'm just like, it is what it is. It's the internet. Like, people are keyboard warriors. They do what they want. Yeah, just move on. So I'm not sure where that little tangent came from, really, but yeah, just saying, be happy for what you've got. And again, I appreciate everyone that puts tracks together for us, and things like this I think are very underrated. I have no idea how long this would have taken. AMX or AMAX, again, I do apologise, I'm not sure on the exact pronunciation. Very, very short description that really didn't give us much at all, and let me just kind of roll around whilst I write this. So it says, an easy fantasy super MX track hybrid. The track is smooth with several large jumps and a few timing sections, and yeah, you'll just find the game under find the track and game under AMAX OASIS SMX. And it is a really fun track. It's definitely beginner friendly. If you're one of them people that is wondering what track you should maybe get into to start Supercross, this could definitely be the way to go, because as he says, it is kind of a hybrid between Supercross and motocross, so you can find a bit of a good flow. It's not a difficult track by any means. Trying to skim these whoops maybe is probably the hardest bit, although I feel like jumping through them might be quicker. And this bit right here, I overjump it every lap, so just got to roll a double, small little triple there. I have tried quadding that and then just singling out, but A, it probably wouldn't be faster because you end up jumping really high off the last jump, and B, I can't get over it. No, I can only get my front wheel over it. I've never been able to clear it all the way, but I'm sure someone out there can. I'm sure they can. But overall, very, very pretty track. Very easy on the eyes, which is really nice. Refreshing, because it's not something that we get very often. I am all for these kind of custom Supercross tracks. We don't get enough of them. We really only get replicas, and I imagine that's just because of how hard Supercross tracks are to make. I know the people that make the Supercross tracks, they've got their like Photoshop templates where they've got like the standard size for the jumps and the singles and turns and stuff, so they can kind of put them together as and when. But I imagine doing something like this where you're making a Supercross track and you've got to think of multiple rhythm lanes in your own head and so on. I imagine it's a very difficult thing to do, so it just makes it all the more impressive. I'm really happy with it. I think it's a really, really good track, and again, if you're new to Supercross, definitely go and do it. If you want an easy 20-30 minutes on the game where you haven't got to think about anything, you just want to kind of listen to music and just have a ride around, again, give it a go. I mean, this is one of them tracks that doesn't take much fault power at all. Very, very easy to play, and like I said, I was playing this last night for about 20 minutes. I just had my Spotify on, wasn't doing anything, just relaxing, just trying to get used to the traction on Beta 17 as a whole, and all good positive stuff. I am hoping that the aerial round 5 will go ahead this Friday. I'm hoping that we've got a fix by then for the online servers, because I tried recording a video with Charlie the other night, and every time he tried joining me, he got bike mismatch, even though I got him to share his screen with me and everything was exactly as it should be, same as my files completely. And then I tried joining him and my game crashed every time. I think I tried joining about 4 times and it just wasn't working. So I hope that it can be fixed, both from a content point of view as well as a racing scene point of view. And I know a lot of you are having the same issue. It's not a fix by any means, but if you can join servers that have very, very few people in, or if you join servers that are in open practice, that seems to give you the best luck. I believe a cause, not the only cause, but I believe a cause of the infinite syncing issue is when there's erode in a server. Obviously, guys are riding around the track whilst you're loading in, and the loading screen's like constantly trying to load in the new erode that they've just set down, so it ends up being a case of you just never get into the game because there's no stop to it, if that makes sense. Doesn't happen all the time. I mean, as I said, I tried joining Charlie's game. Obviously it wasn't a Deddy server, so I'm not sure how much that affects things, but he was just sat in the pits not moving and we couldn't join each other. But yeah, I hope it gets fixed sooner rather than later, because it's it gets a little bit lonely sat in testing sometimes. And I've been playing other games in my spare time recently as well. I've just bought FIFA 22 after having a good few years off of FIFA, just from it being kind of the same year in and year out. But me and Charlie back in the day, we used to just play, like, grind out pro clubs so much. Love pro clubs. That's what I've been doing this time as well. I played maybe 5 Ultimate Team games, and I'm rocking into games with my half bronze with like 3 gold player team, and I'm showing up with people that have team of the seasons in Division 10 and stuff, and it's just ridiculous. But yeah, that game is purely just pay to win Ultimate Team now, isn't it? Which takes a lot of the fun out of it. But I think I get more fun out of trading on that game mode more than anything, like just trying to make money through the auctions. But yeah, all good stuff. And I did just want to say, I always leave this to the end of some videos, but just thank you everyone. Support wise, it's been really good. Just hit 22k the other day, which has come around a hell of a lot quicker than I ever expected. I've done the math again. I'm a accountant by day, and I think it was, if I wanted to hit, I think it's 40k. I believe it's 40k that I set. If I want to hit 40k subs by the very end of 2022, then I need to average from this point on about 55 subs a day, and we're killing it. You guys are killing it. Most days it's near or over 100, so absolutely smashing it. So thank you everyone so much. I'm very interested to know, because there's some of you that may get to this point in the video. Let me know when you subbed, what point I was on when you subbed, because I know we've had people here since like 300, we've had people here since like 21k, very new people, and we've probably had everything in between as well. But I'd be interested to know which ones of you, especially the early subs, still stick around and kind of watch every video, and what it is about the videos that you really enjoy. And overall, that'll do it for me today. Really good track. Thank you very much, AMAX, for making this. It's really good. Probably one of my favourite Supercross tracks, to be honest. Like both replica and non-replica. So thank you very much, and definitely go give it a try if you haven't tried yet. I do recommend you do so. And that'll do it for me. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is that you guys are up to. And until I catch you guys in the next video, peace.
My tent way too damn dark. Laugh in your face like man dark. Came a long way from the bad days way back. Had to burn down that landmark. Seen some things I ain't really want to see. It's all good, that's what made me me. Now who would I be if I had it easy? Used to break down, now I'm in a 350. Like whoa, I've been laying way too low. Had to switch up and change my flow, cause I'm back from the block. Had to bust some rocks and dust off the dust to get back in the box. Now why you wanna